We're so excited because today we have not only one of our very dear friends and our personal trainer, but nutritionist and very, very results driven Bobby.
You got that right.
Also confidant,
Yes.
right? We come in, we train with you
Yeah.
all the time.
Yes.
That's like a morning without Bobby isn't the same. So even though we weren't able to get in this morning, thank God you're here because now our day is perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
especially at
thank
this
you
time.
guys. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you having me on here, and I can't wait to get into it.
I have to tell you, you look fantastic. We usually
Thank
don't
you.
see
Thank
Bobby
you.
dressed
I
up.
know.
This is a special surprise. And we came in our workout clothes hoping we were going to do a little workout here.
I could still train you in this.
Yeah. We'll
That
do
you can.
We'll
That
do
you
a
can.
little reverse dress. Like, you look amazing. We're wearing this, and I was gonna wear my pants inside out for you just to feel like we're
It's
part
a
of
thing.
the
It's a
gym.
You could put that on.
And yeah,
Yeah,
I
about
do
that.
show up. I do
Okay.
show up.
So the joke is that Bobby always happens to notice when Jen has her pants inside out because the liner, it's a panty liner on the inside that's white, and Jen has it on the outside. No, the best part is we will tell her, and then at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, if you go to her one and you catch
I'm still
Jen,
wearing my
she's
pants
still
inside out
wearing them inside
because
out.
I don't care.
If I recall, I believe you, Brittany, were the first to do this.
No, I was the first one.
Thank you.
But
Mhm.
I went home and I changed. I think I may have changed it in your bathroom. I'm so OCD. I was like, hell no, I'm not wearing that all
But
day.
Jen ran it all day.
No. She
All day.
every day, all day.
Don't care.
And it looks like a maxi pad on the outside.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
It is what it is.
friends let friends know about inner liner showing.
Yes,
So.
this is true.
I do want to say that people always ask, how are you keeping tight? How are you keeping trim? And you changed my body. You completely changed my body. When I started working out with you, not only I knew you before as a nutritionist, and I had sent a lot of people to you. And then a few friends started working out with you, and I saw how they really transformed. And the one thing for me that I always was afraid of is getting too bulky. Like, the weights were something, for women, and I'm a very small girl, that I was just afraid of getting too bulky by doing weights. But what changed my body is the split schedule weights that I do with you. And I've brought my cardio back so much from what I used to do. I used to, kick my ass on these crazy intense cardio classes with no results. And it was the split schedule, the consistency of training with you, that really has not only transformed my body, but I could see how I could take a little bit of a break and my body still is burning at a really high caloric rate, and I can jump back in and my body just gets right back into that program.
Yeah, I would say you nailed it by saying split schedule. Split schedule means you have a plan set up, right? Mondays legs, Tuesdays arms, Wednesdays legs again. We have a schedule, a structure, because nothing great comes from no plan, right? And nothing great happens overnight. So for you to actually see results with muscles in your body, it needs to happen for 4 weeks straight. 4 to 16 weeks, and then you'll see some results. So if you go to a trainer once a week, twice a week for 3 weeks, you might be feeling good, but nothing physically happened in your body yet. You might have lost some fat, but it takes all of 4 weeks, that structured split schedule, for you to see a result from, let's say, your glute bridges. Week 1, you do 10-pound glute bridges. Week 2, you do 20. All the way up to week 4, you're at 40. Your body's forced to adapt to those stresses you place on yourself. So it's very much different from showing up with a trainer and they're like, hey, what'd you do yesterday? And they're like, well, you don't know my program. So there's no plan there.
Or what do you want to do? What do you want to work today?
No,
that was
that's
the
not how it
worst
should
thing.
go. I
The
know
worst
that.
question.
I've worked
Yeah.
with trainers in the past, and I hated that too, because that means that you're not thinking about them before they come in.
Yeah. We have a very committed, we know exactly what we're going to do before we come in.
Yeah.
We do a lot of the same workouts, just sometimes different type of machines to work, different ways of to work our muscle. But I always was very thin, but again, my body completely transformed. My before and afters are.
Yeah, you know what I
I
thought?
was
I was like, put
squishy.
those pictures up on the
Yeah,
screen
I
right here. I
should.
thought about
I
it.
mean, we will.
I
We
have them.
will.
I got them.
You
I
can
got
put
them.
mine up.
Put it up on the cast right here. Both of them had incredible transformations. We can go back to Jen's. Jen's at first she was afraid to build muscle because she didn't want bigger legs. And it's exactly opposite of how it works. Her goal at the moment, she needed to drop body fat. She wanted to drop body fat. And she was afraid maybe if we lifted heavy, her legs would get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But that's totally not the case.
But that's how everyone thinks.
Especially if it's like me saying I'm going to start driving tomorrow really fast and all of a sudden I'm going to be a NASCAR driver. Well, why would that happen? Just because I started training
Well, if you have
takes 10
excess
years.
fat, right? I realize it's because
Yeah.
if you have too much fat on your body and you're building muscle, that's kind of where the bulk comes in. But if you're building muscle and reducing fat at the same time, your legs actually look tighter and smaller.
But let's give you that example of where someone did get bulkier. Okay. You're at your weight, your starting weight. You start working out with a trainer. They make you do leg press, leg extension. Okay. They tell you to eat better, but you don't actually pull a calorie deficit.
Yeah, that's where you
You're
were
eating-
great. You had a calorie deficit, so you lost a tremendous amount of weight, and then you bulked up at the same time.
Yeah. But let's say you didn't pull the calorie deficit. You burned 2,000, ate 2,000, started with your new trainer. Guess what? Her legs are bigger now because she didn't lose any fat and she increased muscle size.
Right.
But let's say she goes on a 16-week program, 1 pound a week for 16 weeks, loses 16 pounds, but she went from doing 90 pounds on the leg press to 150 pounds on the leg press, which is actually very accurate, her numbers. And now she has the smallest legs she's ever had, and she's the most fit and strongest she's ever been.
Right.
So right there shows you that, one, she needed to get her body fat to a lower body fat and prioritize strength training and nutrition in order to reduce the fat that she actually wanted.
One thing that really helped me is I told you I went to Sprouts and I don't know, there was 1 pound of yellow gummy bears in a bag. And I just took it home and it was in my kitchen for so long because I was holding this bag that looked like a bag of fat. It was literally 1 pound. And I kept on looking at it thinking, this is what is on my body. How, like, I would get tired. I'd ride my horse. I was tired. And the more I kept on losing this fat of gum, this bag of gummy bears, it was like my life was lighter. My life was easier. I was able to do so many more things. And that was a really good visual for me to see. And originally I thought that my goal weight should be 115. And you were like, I think you could go, less than that. And I was like, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever been that light. But now I'm like 104.
Yeah.
And it's totally different.
Well,
for me.
it's a preference, right? You could say, I have girls at 5'2" that don't want to be 104. They want to be 117, 125. They like the little bit bigger legs,
Yeah.
bigger arms, bigger back, right? But it's a preference. That's something you can do with your trainer. Hey, I want to have bigger glutes but smaller quads. Okay, that's a very specific program. You can't just make them do really heavy lunges, really heavy leg press. You got to be specific with the program. So one of the science things that I like to teach about is the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demand. If I make you do golf for 16 weeks, you should get better at golf, right? But if I make you do glute bridges for 16 weeks, your body should be forced to get better at glute bridges. Therefore, giving what most girls want with bigger glutes with less body fat, right? So that didn't come from doing more cardio.
Yeah.
Didn't come from going to your yoga class or your Pilates class. It came from putting together a plan that's strength specific.
Mhm.
And also not only strength specific, but let's get into macros, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. The protein, the carbs, the
Yeah.
fiber, the fat,
Yeah.
that's a big thing for you.
Yeah, it is a big thing. I teach a macro counting program. I'm a nutritionist. I want to educate any person in front of me on what's a macro versus a micro. Macronutrients are what yield calories. Micronutrients don't yield calories. So for example, you pop a vitamin C, 0 calories. But you pop a cup of broccoli that has vitamin C in it, now we have 30 calories. Now it's a very small amount of macros inside the broccoli because it's high nutritious with no fat. So the calories aren't really getting anywhere, but it's loaded with nutrition. So knowing your macros is important because let's say you're like Brittany. Right now, Brittany doesn't need to lose any fat or want to lose any fat. So she shouldn't be in a calorie deficit. She maybe should have more protein, more carbs in order to help her maintain her physique that she likes. Everybody loves her arms. We know
Mhm.
this.
Great arms,
Okay.
yeah.
So she shouldn't be in a deficit. So her macros could be higher than maybe a friend of hers that wants to lose 20 pounds of fat. So she should be at maybe 2,000 calories, where the friend trying to lose fat should be at 1,500 calories. Now, it's 100% specific to each person. Nobody's going to do the same thing.
That's what you also did for both of us.
Yeah.
Was in the beginning, the reason we had a lot of success is because we worked hard at your nutrition program, and we
right.
calorie count. Like, that's a big deal, because a lot of your clients, I was in your gym the other day, and someone said to you, was talking about like what they're eating, and it's like, no wonder you're not losing the weight, because you're not eating, accurately.
Yes, actually, you made me think of a really funny moment where Brittany was going to the country club, okay? And she was legit, okay, well, we use apps to help us track our program, right? So she said, he told me like champagne's the lowest calorie per volume, right? And I said, yes, that's correct.
Why don't you say what app we do use that we?
Well, we
that
use
you love?
MyFitnessPal, but even
Yeah.
my app that I have works. There
Yeah.
are many.
Platinum Athletics.
Yeah, my Platinum
Yes.
Athletics app. I have a custom app that I would build you a program on, and you could log your food on my app as well. But this part is old school. You journal it down back in the day. I've been a trainer for 20 years. Back in the day, we used to write it on a journal. Banana, oatmeal.
But putting it in your phone is so easy.
It's new
so easy
age.
to do.
It's and there's AI with it. But the point was, she was scanning the bottle of the champagne,
That's true.
and boom, I ate 7, whatever her calories were. She was able to document it, and that helped her lose fat initially. Because you lost about 7 or 8 pounds of fat in the
Yeah.
beginning, and then the rest of the time it was about building muscle. So
yes.
her awareness to her macro goal was important at the time. And a lot of times, I'm not just going to say women, because men and women will be under on protein and way
Mhm.
over on fat.
Yeah, it's hard to get. Proteins are challenging.
It's hard to get.
in.
It's harder to eat. It takes forever. Think about cutting up a chicken breast and sitting there and eating it. How long is it going to take you?
Yeah, it's a long.
Okay,
it's
versus one
boring.
tablespoon of peanut butter. Wow, it's
Right.
gone in 10 seconds.
Let's talk
But
about
there's a
peanut
lot of
butter,
calories in
because
that.
I also sent you many family members, right? So we've lost weight with family members, we've gained weight with family
Yeah,
members
yeah.
on purpose.
Mhm.
And one of my family members was eating so much granola and peanut butter in the morning, and he looked at me and he's like, well, I don't know, my clothes are fitting funny. I'm like, you need to go see Bobby. I don't think you're paying attention to the amount of granola and peanut butter
Exactly
that's
right.
coming. And then like you changed his body. It was like such a simple switch
Yeah.
for my
But
son.
honestly, it is kind of annoying to be like, why can't I just pour my granola and just move on with my life,
Right.
right? But just the way we build serious businesses, they're not just done without a plan. You can't just eyeball guess things.
Yeah.
You have to have structured numbers. So we'll get into some nutrition education a little bit later about calories and alcohol and different foods. That's coming. But knowing your numbers is something I say a lot. So if you don't know how many calories are in daily, traditional foods, that's where the app will allow you to learn.
I think
You write banana,
I
chocolate milk, whatever you're eating,
And
you
it
write it down.
auto-populates, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
kind of
tells you
cool.
what you're
I
eating.
think to really transform your body, completely transform it, you have to really go into it with this, knowing your macros, knowing your micros, knowing how to be in a calorie deficit, knowing what you're going to do, like that split schedule, how much cardio you need. Like you just said, there has to be a total plan around
Yeah.
it. Otherwise, you might have weight loss, you might have
Yeah,
a
might is the
change,
word, yeah.
but you don't have a transformation. And even though I was thin, and I remember people always saying, Bobby, she doesn't even need to lose weight. That's crazy.
But you were like
wasn't
skinny fat.
Yes,
Correct,
and it
yeah.
wasn't for me about, it wasn't losing weight, but I had to lose fat, which people couldn't get their head around. But I had to do that to transform, to have the weight, the muscle
Muscle.
gain that I needed
Yeah.
to change the look of my body.
Yeah.
And that was important. Like if you put my before and afters up, the transformation is
And
night
it
and
ultimately
day.
came down from more good food,
Yes.
less cardio, and more strength
Yeah.
training.
And I don't do cardio anymore. Like Jen said, I skip it.
So let's talk about the skinny fat for a second, because that right there is extremely confusing for a lot of people. Okay?
They're like, is there such
There's a
thing?
thin girl who's 110 pounds whose body fat is way too high. Okay?
I had that.
It's confusing, right? Here's how it happens. Too much cardio, too low a calorie, not enough strength training.
And too
That's it.
much alcohol.
but that's less nutritious food.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying you ate more food, good food, that means you probably ate more protein, more veggies, more fiber. But a lot of people come to me, I make them a meal plan and they're like, this is too much food for me. I go, but before you were killing 3,000 calories of whatever you felt like,
Right.
and you just pretend like this
Yeah.
alcohol doesn't count. No. You were eating 3,000, now you're eating 1,800 and you're full all of a sudden. That's called strategy. That's called make this person more well-fed so they don't overeat.
I think a myth that people think, and I mean, I'm just going to speak for myself, is that when you're thinking like, I need to lose weight and you're on a deficit, now you're going to be in a deficit for the rest of your life. And that's a
Yeah.
sad thing to let go of. But it's absolutely not true.
Do you
It's
know
a-
what? That's one of my favorite talking points because I get people so good at their macro counting that they're like, no, I'm a 1,400 person. No. You're a 1,400 person until you're done cutting fat. And then what am I going to do? I throw it back at them every time. Then what are you going to do? And they're like, oh. I said, then I'm going to move you back to 2,100. And they look at me like, what?
Because
'Cause
people
people
get
get
scared.
scared.
They
Yeah.
get scared that they're going to
Exactly.
gain everything back.
But then I go, remember, why would 2,000 in, 2,000 out make you gain fat? It won't, because it's not a
Yeah.
caloric surplus. How do we gain fat? 2 words.
Caloric surplus.
What does that mean?
Hand to mouth.
Not always, because if you're eating chicken and rice and really high nutrient content foods,
That's
you're
true.
going to be eating all day and think it's too much food, like we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But calorie surplus means that you're consuming more food that your body can handle. And it's going to store it off to the side for later use. So hibernation, right? So you go eat 2,500 calories and burn 2,000 calories. Do that for a month straight. You're going to be 4 pounds fatter. But reverse it. Burn 2,000, eat 1,500. That's a 500 calorie deficit. Do that for 7 days. That's 3,500 calories. You can Google this. This is unfalsifiable in science. You cannot prove this wrong. So it could be keto diet, low carb diet, high carb diet, caveman diet. As long as it's in an appropriate calorie deficit, you will lose body fat.
So when you start adding at the end, when you've lost your body fat and now you're up to 2,000 calories, you can just sustain that, right?
You
You're not
could,
going to
yeah.
get nervous
Yeah.
about gaining weight.
No, because
But you have to stay on your workout program
correct.
completely.
That's a
So
good point.
that's the most important
That's a
part.
good point. Yeah.
It's like when we're traveling or we've had a surgery and we know that we're 6 weeks off, you
When
always
we've had
put
a
me back
surgery.
down.
A couple surgeries.
You always take me down to my calorie deficit count because I'm
Yeah.
not working out to balance it. So you can't stop one or the
Oh,
other.
you're actually listening in these
You have all these, like-
you love to
Yes.
give us
Brittany,
this
You have all these
information.
like pearls of
Brittany.
wisdom. Like you always say to me, what's the analogy?
Time under tension.
Time under tension. But when you go and you fill your car up with gas,
Oh yeah, I like this one.
right? You fill it up and only until it can take as much as it can take.
Yeah,
and then-
okay, so I like this one. Let's go for it.
Okay.
You have a 20-gallon gas tank. You go to the gas station. How many
I feel like
times
we're in the gym.
can you put 30 gallons in that 20-gallon gas tank?
None.
Never.
not.
Why not? It doesn't hold it.
It'll overflow.
It'll overflow. So this is kind of how our body works, but look at this as a 24-hour period. If you consume a caloric surplus in a 24-hour period, for example, you burn 2,000, you could be working out 5 days a week, and you eat 2,500, maybe it's on accident, maybe it was alcohol, maybe it was whatever night, that's going to put you at a caloric surplus, and until the calories start stacking up 3,500, that's when you're going to start adding 1 pound of fat. So, and when I say 2,000, I'm just going with a general number. Jen's numbers are even different than Brittany's, and Brittany's numbers are different than mine. I'm 6'2", 203. I'll burn 3,400 calories a day. Doing the same thing that these two girls are doing, they might burn 2,200. So don't follow a random meal plan you found online.
Yeah.
Make sure you work with a professional who tells you how many calories, how much protein for your body and your goals. There's one thing you said that made me really know that you understood was that you said, when I reduce my exercise, we simultaneously reduce the calories.
my calorie count.
And I thought, wow, okay, that's exactly what I would want her to do.
So if you have like a fun day, a birthday or a holiday, and you go over, right? You indulge in that day.
Or it's a Monday or a
Right,
Tuesday or a
yes.
Wednesday or a
So
Thursday.
what is that? Is it like it's okay if you do that for one day?
Yeah, because a lot of times people will freak out in that moment. Oh, I totally ruined it, and then their mind is off.
And then they're like, I popped a tire, let me pop the other 3
Yeah,
tires.
forget about it. Let's
Yeah,
go through the weekend. We'll start Monday, right?
exactly.
But if you just went, let's say 500 surplus, you didn't really gain that much fat. It would take you 6 more days of that poor behavior
That's
to
good.
gain 1 pound of fat. Now, what happens when people do that? They weigh in the next morning. Big mistake.
Well, this is what I do wrong. I go on these trips and I'm gone for 2 weeks and I drink the whole time because I'm on vacation and I eat a lot of my kids' leftover food. And then you want to weigh me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell no. And you're like, you probably barely gained any. But then when I get on the scale, it's a lot. But 3 days later, I'm a lot lighter because it's so much water retention.
That's exactly what I was just about to start talking about.
So much water retention. Like just from the amount of alcohol I'm drinking, I retain so much water.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say with that birthday dinner example is, let's go to the science. Every carb you consume, your body stores 3 to 4 grams of water. So the carbs are like sponges. But did I say anything about fat yet? Nope.
No.
Everybody
right.
thinks, oh, I was so bad last night. I gained 2 pounds of fat. No, you didn't. You went up on your carbs because before you're supposed to be 150, and then now you're at 275 because you had 2 glasses of wine, birthday cake, and a pasta. But did you gain that much fat? No, you gained a little because you're in a 500 surplus that day. But you're going to weigh in the next day and you might be 2 or 3 pounds of water up. And just like you said, it would take 3 days for it to come back down. Assuming those next 3 days you went back to a calorie deficit.
So if I'm working out, okay, I'm having this in my head because I know you've told me the answer to this. Okay, I'm working out and because I'm doing the weight training, I'm burning more, right? My
Correct,
burn is
yeah.
a lot more. So then I go away on vacation. I'm gone a week. That burn, that's gone, right? Because it's only like a couple days of a burn.
Right. That's something really cool that you explained.
Yeah.
When you do cardio, you continue to burn for how many hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. When you do strength training, you continue to burn for
How long do you think it is?
24 hours.
48 hours.
Wow.
So but then why don't I gain the weight even though I'm having my birthday cake and my birthday party every day for a week on vacation?
Well, you might, if you're tracking it, you might not be as high as you think you are. You might have missed your deficit. Like, let's say you were supposed to eat 1,500 and you're like, no, I'm having 3 glasses of champagne and a piece of cake. And then now you're only at 2,200.
And maybe you're walking too, right?
Yeah,
You're
and you
walking
were
a lot
active.
more in Europe and
Walking to
Yeah.
buy more bags and
Yeah,
shopping.
exactly.
Come on.
Not really.
So a lot of times people will freak out. I need to change my plan. I need to change my plan. No. Go right back to the plan we had set up the day before you had a binge night. What does that mean?
I know the answer to why I don't gain the weight though. It's because I'm so happy with my transformation and I'm so married to how hard I worked
Yeah.
at it and what I have now that I would never do anything to devastate or destroy what I have. So that's the answer. Is that even though I might have a week of that partying and this and that,
you're not going to kill it.
yeah, I'm not going to kill
And
it because like you said, it's all that extra weight, that baggage you're carrying around, that like you just have the amount of energy I feel from my transformation because my body is so different, meaning the actual energy my body has, I feel different. I'm lighter.
And it was only 7 days of being
Mhm.
off your schedule. What about the rest of the year where you show
Right.
up 4 or 5 days a
That's
week?
what I'm saying.
Every
It's-
single week,
yeah.
right?
You know, when you're in your 20s, right, you're like, okay, I'm going away in 2 weeks. I'm going to eat really good. And then all of a sudden your body looks sick in the bathing
Yeah.
suit, right?
You go on a
You're in your
3-day
40s, 50s. It takes months to get your shit together.
But you weren't, when you were younger, you probably weren't that far off.
Right.
You were
Yeah.
only a
But in
couple
your
pounds of fat
mind,
off.
you're like, oh no, it's in 2 weeks. I'm just going to eat good for 2 weeks. And what I realized through this process, it actually takes time.
Yeah. The muscle component, it would take you 10 to 14 days. Like now 3 weeks off. Now we're going to start having some muscle loss that you might see. But if you take 2 weeks off, go party, have fun, vacation, it wasn't the craziest thing, didn't work out at
Yeah.
all, came back, got right back on, you could have gained a couple of pounds of fat because your surplus was sitting there 500 over, but you likely didn't lose that much muscle result. And I've seen both of you take more than 2 weeks off,
Yeah.
and we're able to, you did flatten out a little bit. Let's say
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
4 months off
But
of
Flat is the
weightlifting.
right word.
Your
Our-
muscles flatten out.
Our body is like committed, so that muscle memory, it comes back so quickly.
But it takes another 4 to 16 weeks to refire those muscles
That's
back
true.
up and get another few pounds of tissue.
Yeah.
So the message is strength train consistently all throughout the year.
Explain
Never
why
take more than 3 weeks off.
why we're talking about now in our 40s, right? That it's so much harder to make the transformation. Why strength train? Why
Well, there's a
over?
list of benefits.
But what's the like? Give us the health benefit.
But if we're going on women over 40,
Mhm.
like your game, we're looking at reducing osteoporosis, getting bone health and the tissue of your bones to be stronger. This comes from weight-bearing exercise, even walking, jumping, but
Mhm.
really it comes down to weightlifting is to see the benefit. If I remember correctly, you had some of that in your family.
I have my mom has horrible like she's on stuff on a daily basis, and I told you I was scared to go
Yeah.
take my bone density
And
test.
what did I say? What did I
And
say?
you said you didn't even flinch. You're like, no, you're fine.
I said, I bet you anything it's going to be appropriate because of the last
But
5
mine was
years.
perfect, and my grandmother, it's a history in our family. My mom's is terrible, and mine was perfect.
But I bet yours would be low if you didn't work out the
100%.
last 5 years.
Yeah,
100%.
that's
Because
just
of
a
the-
game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important for women to lift weights.
Yes.
So
yes.
important.
Yes. And if we can revert back a little bit to it makes you burn more calories. Remember? I think we should touch on that a little bit longer because so many people want to do cardio because they feel how hard it is and how much you
Mhm.
sweat. And for some reason, there's this correlation that I'm going to get leaner if I do cardio. It's 100% false.
100% false, people.
So if you work out,
100%.
do cardio 5 days a week compared to somebody who does strength training 5 days a week, what's the difference in the body results?
Well, there wouldn't be any muscle change in the person doing cardio. So if they're like, hey, I want better shoulders, small waist, and bigger glutes, well, that's not going to happen. They could have done cardio 5 days a week. Now, don't think cardio is bad. If someone's starting off and they're like, I'm intimidated with strength training, I want to lose fat, but they told me don't do cardio, that's not the message. The message is focus on strength first and have cardio in there to help you burn a little bit more calories and get the desired result. But if you're one that veers towards cardio all the time because it feels good for you, you're more familiar with it, it's easier, let's be honest. It's way easier. All you have to do is sit there and move your body. I would aim to meet with a trainer, download a program, start resistance training, try a Pilates class, find any way to go resistance route while simultaneously still doing cardio. Because both of those together, strength and cardio, together will make you burn more calories so that you can pull that calorie deficit that's going to make you lose fat. So strength training makes you burn more calories for 48 hours after. It's the EPOC effect, excess post-oxygen consumption. So big science words, but you simply burn more calories the next 2 days. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or once a week if you weren't working out before, great place to start when it comes to strength training. And don't think it needs to be 6 days a week with a trainer. It could be 25 minutes on your own in your garage with 10-pound dumbbells. I laughed recently when Brittany said, all my friends are asking me, how do I get these arms? And she didn't go, oh, I train with Bobby. She goes, lift weights. She said, lift weights. And she like yelled at them. It's not, oh, I go to my trainer. She's like, it's obvious. I lift weights every week.
Yeah.
And so that was like, wow.
Because I've
She
always
gets it.
had like, I have a good shape in my arm, but I've never had, like I have caps
The
now.
cap,
And
yeah.
I have like I'm proud to wear a tank top. I love
Yeah.
my arms.
Now, do you think that comes from cardio or do you think that comes from lateral
No,
raises?
because I used to only do cardio.
Yeah.
And I mean, the problem is that I do this cardio, but if you looked at me, I was very thin, but I was like, I had no
Soft.
tush.
You were
Yeah.
soft. You were
Yeah.
soft.
No tush,
Yes.
no arms.
So let's talk about the cardio. That's something that changed. We do cardio, but the cardio intensity's changed. So your fat burning cardio rate after 40, right, is much lower, your heart rate, than like I used to beat the shit out of myself, dripping sweat, and like not really see a change. I felt good. I had all this
Yeah.
adrenaline after, but it's sort of like you slow it down. The walk is slower, the challenge is slower, but the results are better.
Because when I explain cardio, this is what I say. Get the best results with the least amount of effort.
I like that.
Because why? Are you a marathon trainer? You're trying to get ready for a marathon? Then why are you doing an hour and a half of cardio? You shouldn't be. You should be doing the bare minimum it takes to hit your goal. And usually that's 25 minutes of walking. Now, I'm one that will be, let's put it at 65% of your heart rate max and then get all fancy with the science, but really you don't have to do that. You could walk around your neighborhood for 40 minutes. And
I
it's
like
good enough.
cardio on vacation because it's easy to go out and get like a walk or find a treadmill. That's easy to do. But even on vacation, you've taught me, and it sounds so stupid, but water bottles, like pick up water bottles
Yeah.
and just keep lifting.
Even post-surgery, we lifted water bottles
Yeah.
because they're why? Because they're 1 pound, right? We're
Yeah.
progressing slowly,
Yeah.
make sure everything's safe, and then you get to 2, 3, 4, or 5 pounds, and you're going to see the progression. So
But your heart rate should be at what for burning fat?
65 to 70%, but all that doesn't matter if you're not in a deficit,
Right.
right?
But just
So
for like numbers, is it like 130, 132
depends
ish?
how old you are.
Right.
So it's 220. This is an old school formula, but it still works. 220 minus your age times 65% to 75%. So for
So do the
me,
math.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I
it's like
passed.
120 for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is nothing. It's like
it's not much.
It's not much.
It's not much, but you shouldn't do 87.
Right.
Like slowly walk around your neighborhood, like you got to be up there. But I've had really great results recently with having clients pay less attention to that. Just do the frequency. He said 5 walks, so I'm doing 5 walks. Do that. Show up to your 3 workouts. And most importantly, write your food down. Or
Mhm.
follow the plan your nutritionist made you. Like I teach a macro counting program, which means if you want a piece of toast, you can have a piece of toast. But what's more nutritious than toast? Sweet potato, right? It's a whole food from the earth, has more vitamins than the man-made toast.
Okay, while we're talking about that, debunk the carb myth since you're
Oh,
talking about it.
fun
Because this blew my mind because I was always a don't eat carbs, don't do, and carbs are good.
Carbs are good. Carbs are the energy-yielding macronutrient, right? They help regulate brain function. So and sometimes we have these low-carb programs people are doing. They're taking supplements to help their brain work better. Doesn't it sound kind of weird?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you remember back in the day, like SATs, make sure you drink an orange juice, have a banana. Why were they saying that? Because they wanted your brain to fire well. So when you take your test, it's optimally functioning. So if you're going to go work out, that's actually the number one thing I'm going to recommend. Putting carbs before and after your workout. Very clear science.
I have a
on
hard
that.
time eating before I work out, and
A
we
lot of
talk
people
about
do,
it
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, just a banana, half of a banana, a little bit of honey. And my favorite thing you said is that because I'm addicted to Swedish gummies, and you were like, you can have a candy
Yeah, why not?
right before the workout, which
Moderation,
is so cool.
baby, moderation.
Yeah.
Listen, it's about
Jen's eating the head off the
sour
gummy.
gummies. The sour
Yeah,
skulls.
I love it. I
Who
love
knows
me a
about the sour
Bubs.
skulls?
Give me a Bubs.
Who
Make a comment if you
doesn't?
know about the sour skulls.
If you know Jen, you know about the sour
Yeah.
skulls.
Yeah.
So a carb's a carb, right? But if you're looking at should I have fiber? Well, that's a carb that doesn't yield any energy.
But what would give an example?
Let's say a carb is going to go right through your body and it's not going to break down the bloodstream.
So
But
honey
Versus honey, yeah. So like honey before the workout, 1 tablespoon of honey is 60 calories, I believe. That's going to give you 15 carbs before you go train, giving you energy to have better contractions when you're lifting. But some people will go no food before they work out, no carbs, just water or coffee. And then they're relying on the food they ate the day before. But most of these people that are meeting with me are in a deficit, right? We told their body, hey, let's go low calorie so your fat cells shrink. And then you skip breakfast and you're like, I'm going to kill this training session. No, you're not. You're going to come in with low fuel. You're going to put up a shitty workout and you're not going to hit new results. So a lot of people want the best looking body, striking muscles, right? They want bigger glutes. It's not going to happen when you have low fuel in your body, especially pre-workout low fuel. So carbs are good. And that's just talking about why carbs are good before working out and after working out. It optimizes recovery.
So carb after as well.
Yes. Actually, there's a very clear study, but I'm just going to say it out loud for you guys. Half your body weight in carbs. So say you're 110, 55, divide by 2, 25 before, 25 after.
Of
So
carbs.
half your body weight in carbs, split up before, during, or after your weightlifting
Okay.
session.
I do like a little snack when we're training.
You do.
Yeah.
She does. But I would wish she would do a half hour before that because it would work better. But look, half a banana or a banana before, after you have a toast and eggs, that's it. It doesn't have to be white rice like the bodybuilders do, right?
Yeah.
Why do they choose white rice? Because it's fast acting and it's easy and it's the highest protein in the carb world. So don't be afraid of carbs. Carbs are, do you know how many calories come in 1 gram of carb?
How many?
4. Okay, but how many calories come in 1 gram of fat?
12.
9. Closer. But how much in alcohol?
20.
7. So alcohol's a higher calorie amount per gram. So if we're looking, let's just look at the carbs and the fat. If we're looking at 1 cup of white rice, that's 210 calories. Okay, all carb mostly. But then let's look at 1 cup of oil, any oil, right? That's two of the same
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
volumes. How much is in 1 cup of oil?
Of what?
1 cup of olive oil. It's a gross
Oh
number.
my God, so much. Because that's why
1,900 calories.
that's why
Oh,
people don't
gross.
lose weight. It's the amount of
Nobody's
olive
drinking
oil
a
that-
cup of olive oil.
Yeah, but
the message,
they're cooking with it. They're putting it on their
Their
salads.
salads.
4
They're-
calories per gram in 1 cup of in carbohydrates. So
Okay.
1 cup of rice, 200 calories. Everyone thinks rice is bad. Rice is bad. Carbs are bad. 200 calories. But you eat olive oil like nobody's business.
Right.
But this is 2,000 calories. This is 200 calories.
So basically, you're saying alcohol is the answer.
Alcohol's right in the
It
middle.
has 7 calories.
We'll get to that. Okay. I know you're excited about the alcohol. We'll get to that. So don't be afraid of carbs. Again, learn how to track them and understand how much fuel you get for your body and your goals. Your goal is different than my goal, right? I want to put on 10 pounds of muscle. I'm not sure that's what you want to do. So I need way more fuel than you do, likely. So every program is different.
It's fun watching you because you're like in a deficit or you're adding, you're like losing, you're building, you're
Yeah.
constantly doing, you're never stagnant. You're constantly in some state of perpetual motion. And it's really so cool that you really live what you
Thank you.
preach.
What is my favorite Bobby?
Chubby Bobby.
No, not chubby Bobby, bigger Bobby.
Well, yeah. So
I
does my
like
wife.
lean
My
Bobby.
wife likes me bigger
I like
Bobby.
burly Bobby.
I like burly Bobby too. But let's talk
I
about
like
this.
There's
lean.
more of you
For
to love.
7 or 8 years, I was probably 6 to 9% body fat. And it was impressive, right? People are like, wow, you're so ripped. Oh, that's cool. But I liked that percentage. It felt good. But I actually wanted to gain more muscle mass during that period. But I was playing around with maintenance calories. So eating 3,000 in, 3,000 out, just to give you an idea. And I wasn't able to get anywhere. But one might look at me and be like, wow, you're in incredibly good shape. You have so much muscle. You have low body fat. I did for my frame, but at the moment I wanted 10 more pounds of muscle. So the only way I was going to do that is if I shape shifted again and started to throw out way more calories on my body. So I went from 198 to 217 intentionally, bulk phase like you see people do. And I put on fat with muscle at the same time. And then I peeled it off again. So now I'm 203 instead of 198, but with more muscle this time.
I like you. I like this.
Now, nobody has to do that.
I
That's
like
just a
this Bobby.
strategy to put on more muscle in different phases.
It's fun to watch you make a plan and work your plan. You
Yeah.
really do it. When you did my food, I said to you, there's one like non-negotiable that you have to put in my meal plan, and that's chocolate.
Oh, yeah, we did the hot cocoa. We did the hot cocoa
Yes.
too, didn't we?
And you created a plan for me that included my chocolate. Like I needed to have chocolate every day. I didn't want to feel like I was missing out, that I was like in this depressing state of a cut, and there was no joy in my life. So I was very excited that you could make the adjustments. And I know you do a lot of remote clients. Like people don't
Yeah.
have to train with you. You
Mhm.
do a lot of nutrition plans.
Well, you brought up a good point. What I teach is flexible dieting. Flexible dieting, what does that mean? I could give you 20 versions of your 1,500 calories. And one could be enriched with sweet potatoes, white rice, every green vegetable under the sun, and it'd be crazy high nutrient. Be obviously a better route to go if you're looking from the nutritionist side of things. But I could also make you a 1,500 calorie plan that's 80-20, where it's 80% high nutrition, and then you can have a few little things that are processed and man-made, like bread or chocolate, right? So that's always going to work. I could show you clients that lost 200 pounds with that strategy, and they're eating chicken quesadillas.
Yeah.
It's all about understanding your energy demand and satisfying that number. So the reason why my programs work is because I have a call with each one of my customers and we will talk about it. They have to show me that they actually hit the calories for the time period they were trying.
And I love how you have so many great transformations. And I love how proud you get of your clients. Like when you show us before
Yeah.
and afters, it's like we're all part of it. It's
Yeah.
so exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would love to share them even more
Yeah.
online. I will eventually start sharing them again, but that's the reason why I do this, right? One, I can do it on my own, right? Transform my own body whenever I want to, but then helping others because it's such a what seems to be difficult thing for people.
And it changes lives, completely changes
But
lives.
think about how hard it is because you go to a restaurant and it doesn't show you the calorie. America's getting a little better now by showing you the calories, but meeting with a professional that educates you and shows you how to know what the calories are, I think is the route to go.
I
I
love your
agree.
Instagram posts when you go to different restaurants and you're like,
Yeah.
let's order Chick-fil-A or let's order other, what is your Instagram handle?
Bobby Levsey, so it's just my first and last name. My company's Platinum Athletics, but on my Bobby Levsey page, I will show you ways to get high protein, and it's not just chicken breasts, right? So hack foods and what to eat at El Pollo Loco or what to get at Chick-fil-A
In and out.
to not break the bank, right? So now, am I going to have my bikini competitor go through Chick-fil-A? No. Why? Because they're going up against 6 other girls to try and win a competition. So that's when I believe that the diet should be way more restricted
Yeah.
and tight. And no, you're not going to go eat Chick-fil-A because the other girls are not going to.
Yeah. But that's
That's
like
where restriction goes in.
yeah.
Otherwise, what I teach is nothing like that.
Flexible.
Flexible
Mhm.
dieting. All you have to do is log it and understand how much fuel you're getting.
And that's what's amazing about you. You're not just a trainer, you're a nutritionist. And that's where your success is so impactful.
Yeah.
You helped my husband get in the best shape of his life for his 60th birthday.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, he lost 35 pounds of fat. We made an excellent post about that too. We could resurface that one. Both of you guys lost 35 pounds of fat on their specific nutrition programs. Because at different times, I have clients working with other trainers because maybe they can't fit in my schedule or whatever. But that's honestly encouraged me even more on the nutrition side when I see people working out as hard as possible, but seeing no result. And then I get a hold of them and make sure they do the nutrition component properly because they likely had all the other things set up. They do the nutrition component properly, and then all of a sudden, here comes the result. Their trainer's now happy, they're happy, and I'm happy because the program went through. So
Well, you
I'm all
can
about it.
train, you can train as much as you want, but you can't out train a bad diet.
It's true. It's
That's
true.
a great saying. You
It's
really
true.
can't.
Some people can get away with more. Like I could get away with more than you
Mhm.
because of your height, weight, age compared to mine.
Mhm.
But I would challenge that I have a bigger energy tank than you. I need more fuel to feel the same amount of fullness.
Like when I hear the amount of calories you have to intake per day,
It's a full-time
it's
job.
exhausting.
But if a 5'2" girl goes to dinner with their 6'2" husband,
Yeah,
you're ordering the same meal. That $8.50 meal doesn't suit you very well,
right.
yeah.
but can suit the taller men well.
yeah.
The good news is John literally, I could just tell when we're eating, he's always looking at my plate like, is she done yet? Is she done yet? And I just push it. I'm done. Here you go. Finish it. Top up your calories for the day. We're golden.
Yeah, I mean, teamwork is important. Having a team like your household, everybody on the same path, it can make a difference. So
Also, you have John. I won't do this because it'll ruin my hair and it's a whole hair wash day. But doing the body fat, like the dunks,
Yeah.
he was so like very strict with it. He dunked. He like measured his fat, and that's like the best way to.
I
Well, do you
think
want to know
determine,
why
right?
that worked for him?
that's the most
Yeah.
eye-opening, I feel like, for all your clients who actually go to do it. I feel like that's the moment they're like, oh, fuck,
He
I have
was,
to
yeah.
change.
Well, because it lets you know what percentage of body fat you actually are. You might know, hey, I don't like how soft I am, so I'm going to go meet with Bobby and try and get leaner and do what all of my friends are doing too.
So this is called the dunk tank.
Yeah, it's a
Where you go.
hydrostatic body fat testing method. It lets us know what your percentage of body fat is. And let's say you're at 30% body fat as a female, you might want to go to 20% to feel leaner and tighter and see less fat on your body and have more lines come in. But I have some girls down at 12% body fat, which is ripped, right? It's a completely different thing. All of those are healthy, right? There's a point at which too much body fat is unhealthy, but that's a line where you would see when you got dunked and found out, oh, I'm one click below unhealthy. I better get my butt
Yeah.
moving. But I think the best part, especially with someone like John, is they would go in the dunk tank and I said, trust me, eat 2100. It's going to work. They're like, are you sure? It sounds like a lot. Trust me, it's going to work. They go from 12% body fat to 8% body fat, and then they upticked in muscle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, you made me go that high because you didn't want me to lose muscle, right? And I go, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look, I lost fat, but I went up in muscle. That's a very hard thing to do. And it's never going to happen unless your macros are good.
Right. Well, I love the balance that we have. And the fun part is you could still partake
Mm-hmm.
in your life as long as you're conscientious about what's coming in.
I see where you're going with this.
Yes. We're going to the good stuff.
Well, we're sitting next to you is like the one thing that I think most people spend their calories on.
Yeah, yeah. There's what we call the hidden calories, like olive oil, butter, sugars that are just thrown on your meals. But then there's the ones we choose intentionally, like this. So maybe we'll get into it. Let's take a look at this right here, okay? This is champagne. It's one of the lowest calories alcohol per volume. Now, this unfortunately is a scary one serving. Ooh.
This was cringy for me.
So when we go to any type of restaurant, we're likely not getting one serving pour.
And just so we're clear, this particular champagne that's very dry is the lowest. And I
Yeah.
only drink this now because I know it is the lowest.
Yeah.
But now if you get into wine, you're really upping that calorie count.
Yeah. It's all about the sugars when you're looking at the brut or not. But really, you should be able to enjoy what you want as long as you're able to track it, right? But if I'm going to say I want a margarita, I might waste 500 calories on that. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot.
This right here in my hand is one serving of champagne, and this is about 95 calories.
And that's like nothing.
It looks like nothing, but let me show
That's
you
like
here.
3 sips.
Yeah.
You go to the restaurant, like, here's your one glass. So this is twice the serving. This is 200 calories.
So this is, oh my God, that's 200. And that's nothing.
Yeah, you can't really
That's
tell the
nothing.
difference.
Like, this is a wine glass. My wine glass is usually up to here.
So one might say, my trainer told me to go for champagne because it's lower calorie per volume. And then you have what you think is 95 calories of champagne, but really they served you 300.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm doing good. I'm doing great, right?
Plus
But-
your steak, plus your rice.
Right. We didn't get into the food.
Right.
So the point is, have alcohol, but in moderation if that's what you
I'll
want.
put it down.
Right?
Now, do you think champagne is better to have than like a tequila? Is that tequila or is that
I
a
don't
vodka?
really think anything is better than another in my game. I just want you to have awareness, right? Like if you didn't know that that's 300 calories, that's the first step.
Alcohol
Know
is
that
bad for you no matter which way.
alcohol is a hindrance. It's not going to help your fat loss program. But if it's something you want to incorporate, I'll teach you how. Right?
Yes.
A small
A
amount.
balance.
But I'm still not going to tell you 3 drinks a night is okay.
I did
won't.
this. I had alcohol incorporated into mine because I do like a glass of champagne or a glass
so
of
typical.
wine.
I had chocolate incorporated into mine, and you had alcohol.
I had alcohol in mine.
So let's look at what one thinks is the lower calorie right? If we're going to have 1.5 ounces of tequila, or we're going to have a regular beer might be 150 or 200 calories, right? So someone might say, I'll just have one shot.
But nobody's having a shot usually. They're mixing it with
Right. But if you look at what
juice.
this is what one serving
Should be
90 calories of tequila.
If you want to
And
drink,
you know a real pour is up in here.
but if you want to drink, you should just focus on 2 shots. Just take your 2 shots and
Fine.
that's it.
That would be 95 times 2. You have 200 calories coming in from alcohol. That would be very moderate. Obviously, that makes most sense.
And then don't eat half your dinner.
Right? But a lot of people will go, I'm just having the lowest calorie alcohol. No big deal. This is 300 calories. And let's say I had one, I'm going to have another. And I happen to have 3. We're at 900 calories
That's
going in.
crazy. Yeah.
You could have had 9 bananas.
Oh.
Let me see you eat
That
10
doesn't
bananas.
sound good.
Yeah.
Can
no.
you eat 10 bananas?
No, but give me a steak, give me French fries. I'll take
But
that.
also, on a random tangent, a lot of people are afraid of fruit, right? But let me see you eat 10 bananas. Can you?
No.
No.
But that's only 1,000 calories. But you can drink 3 drinks in an hour.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the difference between nutritious foods and a toxin that doesn't do anything for you.
Nothing.
So balance, moderation is what I teach. Just know your numbers, right? Few and far between usually works better. Because if you start drinking this, we also know about lowering inhibitions after that.
Yes. The pizza comes in, the
So
cheeseburgers.
that's usually
You're not waking up in the morning.
That's usually what happens after that. But my message here is understand your nutrition, track your calories. If you never track your calories before, track them for the first time, and you're going to learn a whole lot about your nutrition behavior.
What I see right here is like the Goldilocks effect. Like, is this too hard? Is this too soft? This is just right. Like that little glass looks like it's mine. This glass looks like it's Brittany's. And
That
this
was
glass
mine, yeah.
looks like it's Bobby's.
And it would work.
But Bobby is actually committed right now, and Bobby to be.
I'm trying not to drink.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to drink because it kills my calories. I find when I'm fully logging, I'm back on my plan, and I pull alcohol out, it's fascinating how much food I actually get to eat, right? Like I'm not drinking all weekend. I could have pancakes and waffles and bacon to fill in the food that I was drinking in calories from alcohol.
Yeah.
And if you look at that, like I would much rather eat.
That's so wild to think of because sometimes when women are doing a calorie deficit, they look at what their calorie count is. And for people who are like of our height, it's not that much. You
Yeah.
really don't get that much.
Yeah.
So there's really no room.
Yeah.
Unless you're skipping dinner, you can't have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that goes.
Let's call it anecdotal findings, meaning it's not science. 4'11" to 5'2" female is the lowest calorie burning human on the planet.
That's me.
So I work a lot with this body type. They're the most challenged because they're burning the least amount of calories because of the amount of bone and muscle they have on their body. So I would strive to say that they have to be more precise on their food
Yeah.
and aware throughout their life. And I kind of connect with them a lot and they go, oh, that's why it's been so hard for me my whole life. It's kind of like you.
Right.
Yeah. You're stuck at this one weight. You're not going anywhere. You're trying to eat really well.
And you're confused.
You're at the same weight for 2-3 years.
Yeah. And you're confused because you're like, at a certain age, things start to like slow down and you're like, oh, I don't understand. How did this happen?
Yeah. So it's all about knowing your numbers, creating a plan for yourself or having someone create it for you. And a big word I use is accountability.
Yeah.
Like the app, logging food, that's accountability. Meeting with a trainer, that's accountability. They're going to show up for you. Scheduling workouts, even if you're not with your trainer, that's accountability too. Like I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to still hit 3 treadmills.
And we're really good about that.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
say, you're the only trainer that I've never canceled on. There's been so many times where I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it. But I love working out with you. And even when we're out of town, we always do Zooms.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up if you didn't. That's one of the reasons why you guys are so successful with your fitness programs is you are focusing on frequency. 2, 3, 4 times a week, every single week. Doesn't matter if you're here or in Paris. You're focusing on what it takes to keep your body healthy and fit.
And I will say this, if you do decide to work out with someone and they decide to go the professional route, it does make such a difference to find someone that you enjoy to spend time with.
Oh, that's
And
true. Yeah.
we really enjoy our time with you.
Yeah, we love
Well,
you,
thank you so
Bobby.
much. I enjoy it
You're
too.
not like you're more than just a friend. You're
A brother.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
our morning
Family,
like
family.
you're
Yeah.
our morning coffee. We just get excited every
Yeah.
morning that we get to
I love it.
and everyone that we know that does go to you now, it's like everyone has the same feeling. So you and your family, your beautiful girls, we just adore
Thank
you
you
guys.
so much.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me.
And your stories.
Hey, well,
And poor Navy.
I know you guys know, but I give a shit about my clients and I
You do.
care. And like you,
In
I
such
had
a big way.
I had a great introduction with results-driven trainer. That's all I am. You know, I'm also a people person, but if you're coming to me and you're not getting a result, what's the point?
No, you really are a result-driven trainer and nutrition. You are.
And you're an
You-
investigator. If
Mhm.
somebody isn't having results, you're like, let's look at it, let's tweak this. And then all of a sudden it's a game changer.
Sometimes it hurts for me to tell you that I don't think you're doing it right,
Yeah.
but that's why I am there for you.
Okay, rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay. Well, we know this. Weights or cardio?
Weights.
Yoga or Pilates?
Ooh, Pilates.
Ooh. Squats or lunges?
Squats.
Gym or home workout?
Gym.
Long walk or short hit session?
Long walk. Preference. My preference.
Oh,
They're
I
both
wouldn't
the
have
same.
thought that.
If we're looking at
Okay.
science, they're both the same.
Stretching before or after?
After. Unless it's active isolated stretching, which doesn't fully tire your muscles out.
Or stretching for long periods of time with someone helping you in front of people.
We're going to pass. Pass.
Okay, for you, rest day, Netflix or nature walk?
Netflix.
Oh,
Coffee or
Well,
matcha?
no. Nature walk, because I Netflix every night.
Oh, that's
okay.
So
good.
nature walk.
Well, you have a balance. Coffee or matcha?
Coffee.
Cheat
Don't
meal.
ask me again.
Cheat meal.
Yes?
What is your cheat meal?
Is that a
But what
question?
Is
it?
it pizza or
Oh,
pasta?
Burger.
Oh.
I like-
Candy. Sour candy. Can I have a multiple?
You could eat a whole bag.
I could
You
eat.
did that at my house. You
Yeah.
ate an entire
we did,
bag
didn't
of sour
Watching the Menendez trial.
But you were probably under influence of alcohol because that's not something you would do like in a.
He was at my house and pretty
Yeah, we
confident
had
he
Yeah,
was
we
under
had
the
pretty
influence
we
of
sure.
had
alcohol.
champs. We had champs.
Okay, red wine or margarita?
Margarita, easy. I'll take the calories.
Favorite healthy snack?
Beef stick.
Oh,
What's up, Brittany?
my man.
Mhm.
What is one food every woman over 40 should eat more of?
Protein.
And the
That's
one-
super important.
The one food women over 40 should cut back on.
Alcohol. It's not a food, but like, okay, I say alcohol.
And
Yeah.
intermittent fasting, yay or nay?
Depends on the situation. Definitely not fasting before a workout. If you remember the carb topic, the carb conversation.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who has a desk job and they're 75 pounds overweight and you start to eat at 1 instead of 10 a.m., that might help them get into a deficit.
That's good to know.
It's that simple.
Yeah, that's good
You don't
to
really need to say anything else. It's time-restricted eating window.
So like on vacation, maybe skip my
You can,
breakfast
sure.
and start later in the day.
But there is benefit from waking up and eating right away too. But if you're trying to mitigate fat gain, it's all about taking your calorie whenever you feel like it inside that 24-hour period, right? If you had 1,500 calories right before you went to bed, but ate 0 calories all day, that would work just the same as 1,500 calories spread out throughout the day. But it wouldn't help your workout if you didn't have carbs before you work out.
Got it.
It took me 20 years to figure that out, by the way, to understand that.
And we got it in 45 minutes.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we want to thank you so much. You've really changed our lives. You've
Awesome.
made us feel better. You've helped our families. And being over 40 plus, we are living our best lives. And that's because of you. That's a big
Awesome.
part of it.
So cool.
Big part of it.
Appreciate
So
it.
thank you. We'll
We
have
love ya.
whatever you're training us to have.
Hey, let's go. Legs, usually legs.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we
Glutes.
love our glutes.
Yes.
We need more. I need more of it. Jen
Awesome.
has a
Thank you, guys.
good butt.
Thank you. You're the
Thank you,
best.
Bobby.
Appreciate it. Love.
Cheers, cheers, cheers,
Shots.
cheers. Yeah,
Cheers, cheers.
shots. Thanks for tuning in. You can listen to What She's Having anywhere you get your podcasts. And don't forget to watch full episodes on YouTube. If you loved today's conversation, please like, subscribe, and drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And follow us on Instagram at official What She's Having.